Here on Indie Style, we'll feature successful entrepreneurs from across the globe who are making incredible strides in their industry. You may not know their names yet, but you soon will. I'm Leah DeVon, and this is Indie Style. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Indie Style. I am your host, Leah DeVon. You know, I always say we have a really great show planned for you today, but we really do. We have a musician, a music producer, a songwriter, composer, and also an audio engineer. In the industry, everybody knows him as SONIX, Tim Rouse. Let me tell you a little bit about this incredible entrepreneur. He has been an A&R for Shore Time Capitol Records. He's worked for Sony, Atlantic, Bad Boy, Virgin Records, Warner Brothers. He's also worked with award-winning and Grammy artists such as Diddy, 50 Cent, CeCe Winans, Christopher Williams. The list goes on and on. I'm excited. I'm just going to bring him in, guys. And today we're going to also talk about how he's coming from like behind the producing board or the engineering board. And we're going to talk about his new single, Easy Street. So you guys, I want you to welcome to the show. He's actually a friend of mine, Mr. Tim Rouse.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Hey you. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on your show.
I'm excited. Like your bio is like, I'm like, I can't read all that. You big show off.
No, just think I'm just Tim. That's what I like to say.
It's so weird because I'm used to calling you Sonic.
Yeah.
So let's just kind of jump in. Where did the name Sonic come from?
Name Sonic came from one of my mentors, and I used to love to use sound effects. It was kind of used before I was using sound effects before it was actually popular to use sound effects in music. And one day I walked in the studio, and I said, told my mentors to listen to this song that we were working on producing. Mm-hmm. And my mentor goes, "Hey, Sonic, it's not done yet." And I'm like, okay. And then everyone looked around the room like, okay, that'll work. And it went back to working. So it was like, okay, it's just stuck with me ever since.
Well, you're Sonic to me. I mean, of course, you're Timothy Rouse, which is the official name, but you're going to always kind of be Sonic to me. And, guys, we go way back. Sonic is just such a gifted, talented artist, musician, engineer. How did you kind of get your start in the music industry?
Well, as a kid, I was a child musician. I grew up playing instruments in school and church, and I came out basically beating on mom's pots and pans, and eventually she got tired of that and brought me a drum set. And so 5 years old, I was playing drums, and my grandfather gave me his guitar at 6, and then I just had an ear for bass, and I wanted a bass, and so I just kept adding to it. And so I found my dad's Army 2-track. You heard it correctly. 2-track in the basement as a child. And I realized I had all these ideas in my head that I wanted to get down. And how do I create music? Get these ideas out of me and express myself. And I realized all the ideas I had in my head, I would have to have 5 other guys, 7 other guys, 8 other guys. And then I would have to schedule those guys. When can we get together and play in the sandbox? And so as a kid, I said, no, I got to figure out another way to make this happen. Mm-hmm. But then I got to teach it to them. And then I got to hope that they play it back like I hear it in my head.
Right.
So I found this 2-track in the basement, and I had instruments. And I realized it had an aux input on it where I could just overdub. And that's where I started learning to record and program. As a kid, maybe 10 years old, I started recording.
So you did that really young. So, when I read your introduction, I talked about, I know that you grew up in Manhattan, New York, one of my favorite places to visit. You're a New Yorker. Mm-hmm. And that's where I met Sonic many, many years ago. And, let me ask you, because you've just done so much since we've last seen each other and spoken. Mm-hmm. And I know that you've been an A&R at like a record label. How does that even come into fruition? How did you become an A&R for some of like the top major record labels in the industry?
Well, you just keep working. And the artists I was working with and producing with, I was fortunate that to pick up off of that as a child, that those records started to sound like something from my bedroom. And
Hmm.
so artists would come by and record in my bedroom. I would always add more equipment. And so as you progress, and I'm producing records, I'm engineering records, I'm also a musician traveling and playing on tour. And so working with a group of producers, those relationships start to form with the record labels. And
Mm.
just keep working and making things happen little by little. It starts to be a seamless woven thread that you just keep moving forward. And next thing you know, hey, people are handing you bags of records. Back in the day, it was bag of demo tapes, bags of CDs. Like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And so your
Hmm.
opinion starts to matter to people, because you learn that the highest level is the most important thing. The quality is the most important thing.
Right.
So the detail, paying attention to detail, it's all about the details in the music. So if you learn to present the best, it's all about the best, the highest
Hmm.
quality. I always tell people one song is worth 1,000 ideas. One finished song has more value than 100 ideas.
Right.
Finished it. So I would start to listen to those details and say, okay, and sift through bags of records and say, okay, I think this one. I would say, okay, this one is dope. This one is dope. I like this. I like this. This could be this. This could be this. If we change this. And before you know it, yeah. So here you go. Here's a position doing, A
Going
and
into
R.
these record labels. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've been like I said, um, the majors, and there's a lot of indie labels as well that, I know will branch off from the major labels, but it's just incredible, that you've even, you've had that experience, which of course just opens doors for you. Tell me an artist that you've really enjoyed working with. Tell me one.
Well, my favorite artist I worked with was David Bowie.
Oh,
Everyone
just David
always
Bowie.
Everyone always
David
asks me
Bowie.
that. Like, what's my favorite artist? I love
Yeah.
all artists. I love working with all artists across all platforms, all styles of music. But as he just had a way of making everyone feel special.
Nice.
Just being around him, he just had a way of that, and
Hmm.
that's very rare when you work with artists that they make you feel like you don't feel like a crew member or somebody just working in capacity, but how are you as a person? Like
Hmm.
really, that really stood out to me with David Bowie. So yeah, all out of everyone, I was fortunate to work with David Bowie.
Yeah, it's always so nice when you're in a professional environment and people kind of exceed your expectation. Because I think sometimes we have like these preconceived notions that people are going to perhaps be a certain way, and when they're just like really incredible, it's just like, you know what I mean, just like a really special thing. So that's so cool. Like I said,
And
you've
you,
worked
of
with.
course, working with you was
Oh,
pleasure fun.
we had the best time, and I am just high maintenance. I can say that. I can like say that.
No, I didn't
Leah
think
DeVon, I'm a
that.
little high
I
maintenance, and
never, I never thought that ever. I never thought that.
you're
I
just very
thought,
patient. I'll tell you, as a producer, he's just ridiculously talented. The work ethic is insane. Like, okay, I'm going to stay up all night long to change this, and literally not sleep, and but just always come and just be that consummate professional, super motivating. He also produces vocals, which I don't even know if he normally does it, but when I was doing music, he would do that for me. So you just go that extra mile to work with, your artists. And I will literally say to this day, and I've worked with some really cool, you know, um, producers. I mean, I even got to work with Kashif back in the day, but you are hands down at the very top of
oh,
somebody that I got to work with.
thank you.
Like,
I had a great time working with you.
we
It
had
was an
fun.
honor and pleasure. I think that's one thing that people miss about being a producer and a creative entity. People have made it glamorous to be a producer and be an audio engineer and be in the music
Hmm.
industry. It's a lot of hard work that goes into making records,
Right.
especially at the
Absolutely.
highest level. And
Right.
so there's a when there's a job to do. Sleep comes second, you know.
Yeah.
So don't sleep is the motto for the school I came up in. Is like, get it done. If there's like the smallest sound is not right, you gotta fix it. And so
well,
many nights I'll get out of bed for like the smallest sound because you know
just super gifted and just so hardworking, and you do make your artists feel incredibly special. But the thing that's so interesting is now you've decided to kind of, I called you, we spoke the other day. I was like, okay, so you're kind of being the Pharrell, you know, you're stepping from behind the producer, you know, taking off that hat. Tell us about your new single. It's called Easy Street, correct?
Correct. So I look at it like this, there's a face of a franchise. So for every artist, there's, you know, tons of people you may never have heard of that's, you know, pouring into artists. And so my whole life I've been pouring into other artists and other entities, labels, churches, schools, you name it, I'm pouring into it. So at some point, the music industry has changed greatly. And producers are artists and artists are producers. Mm-hmm. And the lines are becoming more and more blurred where everyone is just being creative and saying, you know, this is where I believe in. So they're just going for it, which is this, because of technology, it's changes so much where you could just be creative and you don't need those $3, $4, and $5 million studios now. You can do so much at home now. So it's changed in that manner where it's actually giving the keys back to the creative entity. So at this point, I feel like it's graduation time for me. Like, you know, let me just do me for a little bit and just be creative.
No, that's great.
And so that's my single that's out now. I chose to go the jazz route because I've always been a musician my whole life. So let me be a musician and be an artist and graduate, and I'll be the face of the franchise on this one. So this is graduation day for me. So, and I'm having tons of fun. It's just liberating to just be creative and that market. So I've decided to do contemporary jazz, which allows me to fully be a musician, play what I feel, and express myself, and still create great songs and vibe. You know, I think it might be a little bit left. So of just contemporary jazz, here's some other elements that maybe, you know, never heard in this market before. So I'm embracing it, and so far it's just been great, wonderful feedback, and people embracing what I'm doing right now. So I'm grateful. Yeah,
it's beautiful. I mean, I got a chance to hear it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, that's just so sonic, because I know how you are as a producer. So I was like, it's so authentic and so true to you, and just so smooth, and just so, you know, it's that kind of music that will be timeless, not a fad or something like that. You know, I can listen to it now, I can listen to it in 30 years. And that's kind of what I love, you know, and there's such a market for that type of music, which is, you know, it's universal and so incredible. But what I want to do is,
that's my purpose. I want people to be able to listen to it, not only today, tomorrow, and have something to enjoy with. You know, this is just something that feels good. You make your music from your heart, you know, make it honest. You can't go wrong. You can never go wrong making honest music, and give something back to the people where they feel like, you know, like you can dance and something to feel good. You know, like I feel like music is kind of missing that now, where, you know, can you feel good about it? Is it something you're even going to want to listen to? So when I, you know, talk to other people or other artists or other creatives, I say, hey, think about this. What kind of legacy are you leaving behind? Are you leaving something behind that anyone is even going to want to listen to 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? So, you know, music always elevates and changes, but if you make it from an honest place and not just trying to fit in for the moment, then I think you'll leave something lasting.
I agree. Well, Mikey has I think it's like your EPK, so people can kind of see you in action and what Sonic is and what you look like when you're doing your thing. So let's take a look at your EPK.
Thank you. feel like if you keep certain elements, and keep a certain level of passion in your music, and you make your music from the heart, I think people receive that. They know, like, they can feel where your music is coming from. They can feel where you're coming from with your music.
Aren't you extra fabulous and wonderful?
Let's have some fun. That's what it's all about.
That was so good. When I saw it before, I was like, that is just incredible. It's just so incredible. So listen, this is my favorite part of the show, when I get to ask, like, give me a tip or two of success. Somebody trying to make it in the industry or do what you're trying to do. Give me 2 tips for success.
2 tips for success. Work hard. Don't just rely on your talent. Talent is only going to get you so far. It's the work that matters.
Okay.
That's 1. And number 2, embrace technology.
Okay.
Embrace technology, because the way things are being done today is not necessarily how things are going to be done tomorrow. So grow with the technology, utilize it to your advantage. And, we have learning curves. We all have learning curves. So go with it. Take the time to learn it and understand it and embrace it. My 2 tips.
I love it. And where can we find you on social media, Mr.
You can find me on social media at I am SONIX, IAMSONIX, on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook. I am SONIX with the number 1. Mm-hmm. And my website is sonixmusic.net. And so come find me, come hang out with me, come if you want advice, I'm always available. So look forward to meeting you. I'm available. Holler at me.
I'm excited. And, you can also visit our show website, which is indiestyletv.com. And we're going to have Sonic featured, of course, on our website. And we're really excited. And it's so exciting when you get to come back and see a friend that you haven't seen for a while and that they've just continued to thrive in their industry. So I'm really
that speaks of you too. That speaks of you too, the growth into this show. So this is pretty amazing to see the transformation from artist to host, and what you're doing is pretty amazing. So I'm so proud of you, and all I can do is pray and wish you continued success with this show and all you endeavor.
Well, same here. And you know that we're going to always support you and give you all kinds of love at our show. And so thank you for finding the time to come and sit and talk to me. Because months ago, I was like, you're going to come on my show. Or a year ago, I was like, what are you doing? Because I've been watching you, So I'm glad that you're letting us kind of share your new single and all the great things that you're doing. I'm so happy for you, because you're a really good person. And when good things happen to really good people, it's just incredible. So continued success. And so now that we've connected, we're going to continue to stay in touch. And
absolutely. And thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Indie Style TV. Thank you, everyone, for just having me. I appreciate it. And I look forward to catching up again real soon.
And guys, I want you to stick around for our Indie Spotlight artist video of the week. And again, thank you to Tim Sonic Rouse. And until next time, I am Leah DeVon. You take care and be well.
'cause I do too. I know that you've been hustling all night, trying to make sure that we're right. Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Oh, I understand, understand, understand. I understand that you're my man, you're my man, you're my man. I still respect the plan, even when circumstances are rough. Boy, know that this woman has your best interest. Don't you stress, worry less. This is what you're doing. You're in love. You stay down like 4 flat tires. You're my heart's desire. You ain't gotta worry about a thing. You stay down like Michelle did Obama. No fighting or drama. You ain't gotta worry about a thing. You can trust me with your weight. Cold in the safe. I never have to lie to you. Some things you just can't replace. My loyalty is here to stay. I understand, understand, understand. I understand that you're my man, you're my man, you're my man. I still respect the plan, even when circumstances are rough. Well, know that this woman has your best interest. Don't you stress, worry less. This is what you're doing.